guys, this is the Canadian Baconer, and in this video we're going to be talking about campaigns in video games and whether or not they're still a viable asset to all the features included in today's games. Basically, is it even worth having a story for video games these days? Now, on a side note, Star Wars Battlefront, the game I'm most excited for this year, has adopted the style of not having a campaign, and instead they've replaced it with missions that can be played co-op with friends, like something straight out of Halo's story experiences. Now, all of this leads me to believe that campaigns have become obsolete with multiplayer focused games like Battlefield, Titanfall, and Call of Duty. People might say that a campaign to any of these games that I just talked about would be pointless, right? Because no one plays them, correct? But that's where you would be wrong. I enjoy a good story to go along with the multiplayer experience. Why? Because it gives me some substance as to what I'm playing. It gives me a reason behind the gameplay. For example, if Call of Duty Advanced Warfare did not have a campaign, there would be no reason as to why everyone's jumping around with exosuits, killing each other with all this equipment and that kind of stuff. I could make an assumption, but there would be no defined answer as to what I'm doing. Which brings me back to Star Wars Battlefront. The reason why Star Wars doesn't necessarily need a campaign is because, for the most part, everyone knows the basic idea of what Star Wars is generally about. If you go up to a random person on the street and ask them who the main protagonist of Star Wars was, most people may say like Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia, all of those main good guys. And you know, the obvious antagonist would have to be either Darth Vader or Darth Sidious, the Emperor. And so for the most part, everyone knows the general idea of Star Wars. And because this game takes place before Episode 7, it can coincidentally be applied to the new Star Wars movie. The same thing with Battlefield. The Americans are always the bad guys attacking the other factions such as Russia or China. Now this can obviously be applied to the real world, where wars are being fought by actual soldiers. Now, going all the way back to Titanfall, and the reason why that game was necessarily a flop. They did not have a story backing up the gameplay. There was the opening cutscene kind of explaining the general idea of what the whole game's going to be about, but then after that, it was it. They had some story campaign cutscenes during the actual multiplayer, but it wasn't like a defined campaign, and there was no real start or beginning, which was maybe what they were trying to go for, but it didn't really work out the way they probably planned it to go. And so basically that game was a flop because there's no backing behind why everyone's doing what they're doing with the whole Titans and, you know, the giant robots and, you know, whatever. Now, what I think the developers should have done is made the actual campaign for the game for the first installment, and then for the second installment mainly focus on the multiplayer, because for everyone that played the first game, they would have an idea of what Titanfall is all about and the whole campaign and the reason why everyone's doing what they are doing. Hopefully Titanfall 2 actually expands on the whole campaign, because personally I did not think that game was too horrible, but just people may have seen it the wrong way. But hopefully this sheds some light on those people who may have thought that campaigns were utterly useless and they had no value whatsoever. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you think that campaigns are pointless and they have no value, or do you play games solely for the story? Leave your comments in the comment section below, and as always, thank you guys for checking out this video, and this has been the Canadian Baconer. Stay crispy, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.